and welcome back to the Vegan Remix, or welcome if you're new. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make cinnamon rolls, vegan cinnamon rolls from leftover pizza dough. Really simple, good way to use up some pizza dough if you have pizzas or having pizzas, just to use the leftover dough and have a sweet treat for dessert. So let's get into the baking of the video. I'm not going to be making the dough in this recipe. If you want to see how to make the dough, please check out the how to make pizza on the barbecue. The video will be in the information card in one of the top corners. I will also link it down below in the description. It is the Edmonds pizza dough recipe. My dough has been at room temp and rising. It has been about 2 hours since I originally made it, so I'm going to knock it down and then roll it out into a big square. I want to try and keep it as square as possible, so I'm going to tug on the edges a little bit to try and keep those nice square edges. If you find your dough is bouncing back a lot, just let it sit for 5 minutes or a couple of minutes even. Just means that you need the gluten to rest a little more before you can take it further. Once you're happy with the size and the squareness of your dough, you're going to take approximately 6 tablespoons of butter and spread it over the whole area. Maybe leave a slight bit of space where you're going to roll it. You want to roll it the most amount of times possible, so towards the long edge. I want to make sure I get it all the way to the edges, because there's nothing worse than having a cinnamon roll where the top doesn't have any flavoring, or like right in the middle it's just bread. So that is the aim. Once you have that, you got to mix the ratio of 3/4 cups of brown sugar to 2 tablespoons of cinnamon and a pinch of salt, and sprinkle evenly. Once you have your sugar mix, you just sprinkle it as evenly as possible over the buttered areas. Now we roll it nice and tight. Once you've got it all rolled nice and tight, you're going to want to grease a pan to put it in the oven. And you're going to want to use either a floss or a sharp knife and mark out where you're going to cut. So approximately start with thirds. And then you want to mark that into 3 again. So we're aiming for about 9 even cinnamon rolls. Ideally, if you're using a piece of string, it would prevent them from getting so smushed when you cut them. It would also help if you had a sharper knife. I'm just going to place them into the pan, touching, and when I put them back, I'm just trying to give them a little bit more of a rounded shape, the shape I destroyed. Once you sort of have all your rolls in like that, you're going to cover them and let them prove or sit at room temperature for about half of an hour, and then we're going to put them in the oven to bake. I forgot to mention, but while allowing your cinnamon rolls to rest and prove on the bench, you want to preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit on bake. After your half an hour, they should be doubled in size and be looking a lot more puffy. And now we put them in the oven for about 30 minutes. I ended up baking them for 30 minutes, checked on them, they weren't quite done, did another 5 minutes, and they coloured up nicely. So we're going to stick with 35 minutes. Nice and golden on the outside. I was a little worried because I can see, I don't think you can see on camera, but there's quite a bit of, especially when I took it out, there's quite a bit of melted butter or fat on the bottom, but I'm hoping as they cool down it might just kind of soak in to it and make it nice and soft when we eat it. So I'm gonna let these cool, probably for close to, I still want them to be slightly warm when I try them, but I'm not overly worried if they're completely cool. So I'm gonna wait maybe half an hour and then I can't wait to try them and I'll give you a review. So they are out of the oven. It has been a little while. They're still slightly warm on the bottom on the glass, which is hopefully good. Hopefully they'll still be warm on the inside. But we're gonna try one. I already mentioned that they're nice and crispy on top, which is quite good. And the butter I was worried about is still there, but nowhere near as bad as it was when it first came out of the oven. So definitely excited to try these. If I can get them out. Ooh. Oh, okay. It's very soft on the bottom. And the bread or the dough is looking really nice and light and fluffy, which is good, and cooked. So so much cinnamon, so much flavor, and hopefully there's cinnamon all the way through. I'm a little disappointed that because the butter melted and sat all in the bottom, it's not quite as like soft or not oily. Oily's not the right word, but it's not as much in the middle as it is towards the bottom. Regardless, it's still delicious. The pizza dough itself kind of gives it, it's thick, but it's not as thick as bread would be, which is really nice. And then there's a crunchy top. Overall, really, really good. Recommend trying this. Yeah. You could almost serve them this side up, where all the oil and basically the good stuff is. But that is all I have for you today. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you consider making these. These are absolutely delicious. The bread is nice and soft as well. But like, it's got a spongy texture, so it's not crispy all the way through, which is really nice. Yeah, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you get notified when I upload. And consider checking out the how to cook pizza on a barbecue video. Yeah, until that's all I have, so I'll see you in the next video. Till then, peace. And I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days.